Hey, what's up everybody? Today we'll be talking about portraits, and more specifically, I'm going to be showing you certain techniques within Photoshop that are going to boost your portrait, and you're going to go from this to this in a couple of minutes. So yeah, let's check it out. Alright, so within Capture One Pro, we'll be looking at our color correction. We're going to take care of our white balance and our contrast. Alright, so within Photoshop, we'll be working on three different things. The first thing is we're going to be healing all the issues that we might encounter with the model skin. The second thing is by using Dodge&Burn, we're going to even out the skin and get rid of some blushes and stuff like that. And the third thing is contouring. With this, we're going to bring our portrait to a very dramatic look. And to finish it up, we're going to be doing some basic color grading. Alright, so once we're in Capture One Pro, the first thing we're going to do is check our white balance. In this case, the photo is a little bit cold, so all I want to do is add a little bit of yellow and a little bit of fuchsia in order to make this photo a little bit warmer. And I will go to the exposure tab. Once here, all I want to check is my contrast and the high dynamic range. In this case, let's see, if we press H, we can see the details on the face. So I would say I like to bring a tiny bit more of detail in the forehead area, and I'm actually very happy with the shadows, so I'm going to leave this as is, and I'm going to make a small contrast adjustment. As you can see, this is like very subtle, but that's completely okay because that's why we're going to Photoshop after. Alright, so this is good to go. As you can see, like this is that was very fast. And now we're going to export this. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to click on PSD. I'm going to set the output location to, there we go, portrait retouching PSD. There we go, choose output folder. Alright, so now that our photo is saved as a PSD file, we're just going to double click it, and that is going to take us instantaneously to Photoshop. Alright, so first things first, let's make a copy of our background layer. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to work with our healing tool. So we're just going to bring it right here. Alright, so all we want to do is to change our brush size. We're going to click Alt, Control, and if we're working on a laptop, we're just going to click left to make it smaller, or right to make it bigger, up to make it smoother, and down to make it harder. So in my case, I want something like very smooth around 0% and something around like, I would say like 20 pixels, that's alright. So all I'm going to do is click here and just paint a little bit over, and as you can see now it's gone. If we turn this on and off, there we go. So same here, Alt, paint, there we go. So let's toggle this on and off, and as you can see, there is a lot of improvement already with something that simple just within a couple of minutes. Alright, so now that we're done with the healing process, we're going to apply this technique called Dodge&Burn. We'll be using an action that I'm going to link in the description down below as a free download for you. Alright, so to apply our action, I'm just going to click on this play button right here, and I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit play, and there you go. That's going to bring this folder with two layers. So for Dodge, the first thing I want to do is we're going to take our brush, we're going to select white, and here on the top area of Photoshop, we're going to have opacity and flow. We're going to work with a very low flow, I would say between 3 and 5%. this is done right now. Like if we bring this a little bit closer now, we can see the before and the after. Now all we're going to do is we're going to click on the layer again, and we're going to create a second Dodge&Burn folder. Alright, so with this layer we're going to make our light even more dramatic. So I'm going to take my Dodge, I'm going to go a little bit up with my flow. I'm going to put it, let's say like 7, and if I don't like it, that's okay, because I can play with the opacity later on. So the way this is going to work is, let's just zoom out. Alright, so as you can see, like there's certain areas in here, like this for example, that is lit in a very beautiful way. So all we have to do is push those areas. So let's get rid of this and let's paint again. Alright, so I'm very happy with the way this looks with Dodge. Now we're going to go to Burn. By the way, like there's something very important with the eyes. If you're going to be doing that, there are several ways to do it. With Dodge&Burn is one. The second way I'm going to show it to you right now. Here you're going to go to the curves, and then you're going to bring your shadows up, all the way up. And this is going to look ridiculous, but what we're going to do is we're going to press Command I, and that's going to invert our layer. So now we can brush on it. This is the non-destructive way of working with it. And again, I'm working a little bit sloppy, but at home, like if you're doing this, please make sure that you're doing it right. Here we can play like from 0 to 100. I've seen certain professional photographers working like something like this, and that looks ridiculous in my opinion. So let's try to keep it as natural as possible. All we have to do is bring that spark a little bit back. That's still like 19, is a little bit too much for my taste. Let's move maybe this to 8, and yeah, terrific. Alright, so if we click Alt and then on this little eye on the background, this is going to show us the before and the after. As you can see, like the changes, although were very subtle, it looks from a regular photo to a professionally made photo. That's simple. A couple of minutes and you can tell the difference, especially on the face, which is the most important part. Now that we've taken care of the skin color, the contouring and the healing process, all we have to do is some basic color grading, and then we're good to go. So I like to go to curves, and for this, let's bring this a little bit low. Red curve. In my opinion, there's a lot of red here, so let me just bring this a little bit so we can see the photo a little bit better. There we go. In the middle, we're going to bring this, there we go, somewhere around there. Now we're going to go to green. As you can see, there's a lot of green in the highlights, and I'm not crazy about that, so I'm going to remove them a little bit by going a little bit down and bringing the shadows a little bit up. There we go. Now we're going to go to blue. We're going to bring those highlights a little bit to the yellow part, so a little bit down, and the shadows go up. Let's toggle on and off. I really like the way it looks, but it could use a little bit of warmth on the skin tones. So I'm going to go to channel photo filter, and I'm going to add a little bit of warming filter around, like 25% is okay. If we take these two layers and then we hit Command G, we're going to create a group, and we're going to name this color grading. Alright, so that's pretty much my personal workflow when it comes to photography in general, but when I'm working portraits, I like to take my time with the healing process and the Dodge&Burn, which makes a big difference between any type of photography and portrait photography. If you like this photo, go to my website, which is in the description down below, where you can see the rest of the photo shooting. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps it up. Give it a try. Trust me, this is going to improve your photography so fast. And like I said earlier, this can be applied to any type of retouching in general, not only portrait photography, but the most important thing is the healing part and the Dodge&Burn part. That's going to make a huge difference on your final result. So if you liked that video, make sure you hit that like button. That would actually help me a bunch, and hit that subscribe button because there's a lot of content on the way.